Good morning. Welcome to the University of New England and to the graduation ceremony for the awards in the Faculty of Science, Agriculture, Business and Law. Graduands, family, friends and the UNE community, may I ask you to please now stand for the entry of the academic procession and the Acting Chancellor of the University of New England. And please remain standing to join us in singing the National Anthem. Thank you.
Please be seated. In the spirit of reconciliation, the University of New England respects and acknowledges that its people, programs and facilities are built on land and are surrounded by a sense of belonging, both ancient and contemporary, of the world's oldest living culture. In doing so, UNE values and respects Indigenous knowledge systems as a vital part of the knowledge capital of Australia. I would also like to pay respect to elders, past and present, and I extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders present here today. Good morning, everyone. My name is David Van Arnholt, and it is my great honour to welcome you to this very special occasion, your graduation. I have the privilege of representing the Chancellor, Dr. Sarah Pearson, and the University Council. On their behalf, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for the Faculty of Science, Agriculture, Business and Law. Welcome especially to you, our graduands, and to your family and friends who have joined you here today to celebrate this very special occasion. Many of you have travelled a great distance to be here. Thank you and welcome. A warm welcome to our staff who are here today to share in the pride and celebration of their students' success. This is a wonderful moment of recognition for all of us, for our students who've worked so hard and can finally take a moment to see how far you've come. For your family and friends who've cheered you on all the way, and for our staff who've been a support and inspiration to you. I would also like to welcome special guest, today's occasional speaker, Mr Ben Thompson, Professor Alan Coates, AM, Emeritus Professor James Rowe, OAM, Mr Donald Page, OAM, the University Vice-Chancellor and CEO, Professor Chris Moran, Emeritus Professor Alison Sheridan, today's Esquire Bedell, members of Council and our executive team. Graduations are a very special time for the University. They are an occasion when we celebrate the achievement of students and the attainment of your awards and degrees, and also acknowledge the hard work and dedication of the staff who've helped you get this far. Graduations are a time when, as a university, we can honour those who've made a special contribution to the university, the local community and society as a whole. For many of you, this will be your first time on campus. Welcome. We hope that this place will be one of significance for you, as it has been for generations of students since the middle of the last century. We're excited to share the campus with you on this special day. I hope you take the opportunity to take a look around. It's great to see students enjoying the environment we have. It's a special place to study, whether on campus or at intensives, and it's certainly a very special place for graduations. Graduation ceremonies date back to the Middle Ages and tend to be reasonably formal occasions. At UNE, while we honour the traditions of graduation ceremonies, we try to make this day as warm and as engaging as possible for the graduands and everyone else attending. Embrace it if it works for you. A bit of pomp and ceremony. It's your day. Enjoy it. But most importantly, make sure you savour this moment. You've come a long way. Be proud of your achievements. It is now my pleasure to declare this ceremony open and to call upon Elder in Residence Colin Ahoy to make welcome to country.
Shows respect for the traditional custodians of a particular region or an area where an Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander elder from the local region welcomes people to their land. This may be done through speech, song or dance. Protocols for welcoming visitors to country have been a part of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture for thousands of years. Despite the absence of fences or visible borders, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander groups had clear boundaries separating their country from that of other groups. Crossing into another group's country required a request for permission to enter, like gaining a visa. When that permission was granted, the hosting group would welcome the visitors. While the visitors were provided with a safe passage, they also had to respect the protocols and rules of the landowner group while on their country. Today, obviously, much has changed, and these protocols have been adapted to contemporary circumstances. But the essential responsibility of welcoming visitors and offering safe passage remain in place. The land where this university stands is the country of my people, the Anouan people, who are the traditional custodians of this land. And we share the caring of this country with the Gumbaynggirri, Dungari and Kamilaroi people. I pay respect to the elders of those nations, both past and present, and emerging. And I extend that same respect to each of you today. And on behalf of the Anouan people, welcome. Chancellor.
Thank you, Colin. Today we celebrate not only academic excellence, but also the remarkable contributions of individuals who have made a lasting impact on our university and communities more generally. The University Alumni Awards honour graduates who exemplify our core values through their achievements, leadership and service. With more than 135,000 alumni worldwide, you graduands are about to join a very valued community. The UNE Distinguished Alumni Award recognises a graduate who has made significant contributions to their field, shown outstanding leadership and demonstrated the values of creativity, innovation, inclusion and integrity, inspiring future generations of UNE graduates. I now call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Chris Moran, to present Mr Ben Thompson and Eminent Professor James Rowe for the Distinguished Alumni Award.
Good morning, everybody. Just before I present Mr Thompson, I have some other business to attend to. The first is to also acknowledge this country and everywhere around Australia, the traditional owners of all of the places where the University of New England people live, learn, work and play, and pay respect to the knowledge holders of those places and reflect on the university's opportunity to change the future of the country we call Australia by providing the greatest thing we all know that can define an alternative future for people, and that is education. When I arrived at the University of New England, I opened the cupboard for my first graduation ceremony. I was nervous. Someone asked me yesterday, do you get nervous when you speak? Yes. I opened the cupboard and there was the gown of the Vice-Chancellor. It was one of those moments. What does that mean? It was old. Many Vice-Chancellors had used the gown. It didn't fit that well. So I asked, what does a Vice-Chancellor do if we need a new gown? There's a policy and procedure for everything in this university, but not for the choice of gown. Turned out I had some choice. There were two things we did. The first was on the lapel of the gown of the Vice-Chancellor was an oak tree and acorns. And I thought, I've seen a few oak trees, but it doesn't really speak much about this place. The gown I wear today for the first time as Vice-Chancellor of the University of New England now has a grevillea, which you can't see, but I can feel. A grevillea on the shoulder that is named after a famous botanist, the same person who our herbarium, your herbarium, is named after, Professor Beadle. And it's a very rare plant that belongs in this place. So now the bespoke part of the gown is of this place, not an oak tree from some faraway place. The second question I had was, given that we acknowledge country, and given that we have such an important component of our university and the potential of our university for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, how might I incorporate that in the formal gown of the Vice-Chancellor of the university? I sought advice, I sought permission, and a member of our community agreed to do a piece of artwork having considered the options. It was not up to us ever to instruct an artist. Sometime later, some quite long time later, she returned with a painting. And in that painting, she had included the core, which was the Vice-Chancellor and family, which was very moving. It's not what I expected. The next component of the work was our campus of Armidale, our presence in Tamworth and our presence in Sydney, the three big presences historically of our university. The next arc out, all connected very beautifully in the painting, were the other physical entry points to our university throughout our region. We have many. And then the next arc out from that, the partnerships, the collaborations, and the linkages. The whole piece brought together by beautiful coloured clusters of communities that connect the university right through that sequence. And we thought, well, what would we do with that? How would we incorporate that into the Vice-Chancellor's gown? And the response from the gown makers and the artist was to do this. So now we not only use words, but we use representation and beauty to show how our university is connected to community, to all of the communities, to you, the graduates. The second thing I need to do is to do some semantics. And the semantics are that right now you are graduands with a D. In a moment, you'll become graduates. It's a formal part of our ceremony and you do it all together. You'll be asked to stand and you'll be converted from graduand to graduate. Your role is to go wild. This is a solemn, potentially solemn ceremony, but this is a celebration. And I can tell you without any shadow of a doubt, because I get to sit right here, that if you yell out to them later when they come to collect their testimonial one by one, they can hear you, and we can hear you, and they smile when you do that. So please feel free to express how you feel in loud voice when your graduate comes to collect their testimonial. On to Ben Thompson. Ben Thompson is an accomplished entrepreneur and business leader whose career shows how a solid education, paired with innovative thinking, can transform entire industries. In 1998, UNE graduate with a Bachelor of Economics and Laws, Ben's journey from regional university student to international tech entrepreneur showcases the unlimited potential of an Armidale education. Ben began his career following a traditional path as a solicitor in Sydney's banking and finance sector. However, his story took an exciting turn when he moved to London at the height of the dot-com boom, contributing to several well-known startups during their IPO journeys. There, immersed in technological innovation and entrepreneurial energy, he discovered his passion, using technology to reimagine traditional business models to better serve both companies and their employees. Returning to Australia in 2002 with a fresh perspective and entrepreneurial vision, Ben co-founded an employment law firm alongside his father's HR, human resources consultancy. That venture evolved into an international portfolio of game-changing companies, including Employment Innovations, Power to Motivate, Global Reward Solutions, Key Pay, and ultimately Employment Hero, unified by a clear mission to permanently improve the way employment is managed by making it easier and more valuable for everybody. Ben Thompson is now the Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of Employment Hero. Ben focused his life. It's one of the world's leading employment management platforms. Since founding the company in 2014, he has scaled it to serve over 350,000 small and medium enterprises and more than 2 million employees worldwide, with a valuation of over 2 billion Australian dollars. Now, all that sounds very simple. You go to London, you come back, you make a $2 billion business. I've been reading recently of the story of the company NVIDIA, small company based out of the USA, which has become one of the largest companies in the world. And at several points during the journey in that company, they didn't know whether they were going to be able to make the next pay. The CEO of that company was absolutely certain that the future of that company would be assured if he focused on science. Everybody thought that man was a lunatic. He couldn't make pay, and he was looking at scientists as the future of a major potential technological giant. His view was that science is where the next big leap in computational requirement would come from. And then completely disconnected from him, somewhere else, an artificial intelligence laboratory realised his dream. And here we are today with one of the world's largest companies on the basis of a focus and a certainty. If anyone to read the story of Ben Thompson, you see incredible parallels. A very moving story in Forbes, where he and his wife, one morning in the car, looked at one another and said, "How do we do it? How do we make the next pay for our employees and their families?" So there's grit, there's determination, and there's focus. That is the way you build something like a $2 billion company. Ben's leadership's been widely recognised. He was a national finalist for the EY Entrepreneur of the Year in 2018 and in 2025. Just last week, he won the technology category of EY Entrepreneur of the Year. Ben has further accolades from Deloitte, HRD, and Dynamic Business. Committed to giving back, Ben mentors emerging entrepreneurs and supports charities dedicated to improving opportunities for the next generation. That critical issue of working, focusing, grit, and then giving back with success. Ben's path from UNE graduate to leader of multiple international companies demonstrates that success isn't about following a predetermined track. It's about recognising opportunities, embracing change, and having the courage to build something new. Ben's story affirms that with a strong educational foundation, vision, and determination, graduates can create enterprises that reshape entire industries. Distinguished guests and graduands, in recognition of his visionary entrepreneurship and his exceptional contribution to reimagining the world of work through technology and innovation, it is my honour to present to you Mr Ben Thompson for the UNE Distinguished Alumni Award. Mr Thompson, Chancellor. Thank you very much, Mr. Agent. You'll be back. Thanks. Ben will be back to share his thoughts with us a little later. South African-born James Barber Rowe emigrated to Australia in 1970 to study at the University of New England, completing his Bachelor of Rural Science with honours in 1974 and a PhD in Animal Nutrition and Biochemistry in 1980. James's distinguished career began with the United Nations Development Programme in the Dominican Republic, followed by research with ICI Pharmaceuticals in the UK on a topic that is now fairly important: reducing methane production in ruminants. Returning to Australia, he joined the Western Australian Department of Agriculture, where his groundbreaking research on supplementary feeding systems earned him the inaugural Reg Moir Medal in 1987. As the foresight of the graduate of the University of New England, it is now 2025, and feed supplements to reduce methane emissions from ruminants is a major global issue. Returning to Australia, he joined the In 1994, James returned to UNE as Professor and Head of Animal Sciences before becoming CEO of the Sheep Cooperative Research Centre in the year 2000. Under his visionary leadership over the next 2 decades, the Sheep Cooperative Research Centre became Australia's longest-running CRC, fundamentally transforming the Australian sheep industry. His whole-of-sheep approach integrated wool and meat production systems, developing precision agriculture tools, including automated weighing, electronic tagging, and predictive applications. and genomic technologies that accelerated genetic progress by 15 to 20%. The CRC's innovations in meat eating quality, wool comfort measurement, and parasite management underpinned many industry changes. James helped mentor over 80 PhD students through the CRC postgraduate program and related symposia. Recognised with an OAM in 2021 and UNE Emeritus Professor status in 2020, his legacy exemplifies UNE's values of innovation and community engagement. Distinguished guests, graduates, in recognition of his exceptional leadership that revolutionised Australia's sheep industry through innovative research and genomic technologies, it is my honour to present to you Emeritus Professor James Barber Rowe for the UNE Distinguished Alumni Award. Very nice to see you back home. Thank you. Chancellor.
Congratulations, Ben and James. Wow, from little things, big things grow. Two very well-deserving recipients. So again, just thank you. The UNE Alumni Community Award recognises a graduate who has made outstanding contributions to the community, public life, or a not-for-profit organisation in Australia or abroad, who embodies UNE's values of access, inclusion, and who inspires future generations of UNE graduates through their achievements. Vice-Chancellor, I now invite you to present Mr Don Page, OAM, for the UNE Alumni Community Award.
I told you a bit of it was pomp, the up and down thing's a bit like church, isn't it? Donald Page's distinguished public service career spans 27 years as a New South Wales Member of Parliament for Ballina, continuing a family legacy of community service established by his grandfather, Sir Earl Page, former Deputy Prime Minister of Australia, a relatively small role that he had compared to his far more important role, which was the first Chancellor of the University of New England. And you can see his portrait right inside the front door of Bullamimba, should you want to wander through there and see Earl Page. Graduating from the University of New England with a Bachelor of Economics in 1971, a Diploma in Rural Accounting in 1972, and a Master of Economics in 1975, Donald translated his academic foundation into transformative policy leadership. His most significant legacy is the New South Wales coastal policy of the early 1990s, which prohibited high-rise development along the coastline, ensuring public ownership and protecting ecosystem viability. This visionary legislation preserved the character of New South Wales coastal communities, creating a distinctive alternative to Queensland's Gold Coast model. Donald's innovative policy contributions included establishing the cross-border commissioner role, creating the Small Business Commissioner concept, and implementing government efficiency measures requiring agencies to remove 2 regulations for each one introduced. When I read that the other day, I thought that may be a very good implementation strategy for the University of New England in the coming years. 1 policy in, 2 policies out. As Minister for the North Coast, he initiated the feasibility study for the Casino to Murwillumbah Rail Trail, which is currently under construction. Known for his exceptional accessibility, Donald carried a notebook to record his constituents' concerns, responding to them in writing within 1 working day. His commitment to inclusion extended to establishing a local youth council and providing Year 12 students with electoral office experience. Recognised with a Medal of the Order of Australia and an honorary doctorate from Southern Cross University, Donald's 7 consecutive electoral victories reflect deep community trust. His parliamentary colleagues honoured him with a rare bipartisan motion recognising his integrity and lasting contribution to New South Wales. Distinguished guests, graduates, in recognition of his parliamentary service, championing coastal protection and community advocacy with unwavering public accessibility, it is my honour to present to you Donald Loftus Page for the UNE Alumni Community Award.
Congratulations, Don, and thank you. I now invite the Chair of the Academic Board, Professor Adrian Walsh, to present the candidates for their degrees.
Would the graduands please stand? That's you lot. Acting Chancellor, I submit to you a list of candidates as set out in the program who have completed all requirements and are entitled to be admitted to their respective academic degrees and awards.
I'll remind you, this is the bit where the Vice-Chancellor said you get noisy. In the name of the Council, I admit these candidates to their respective academic degrees and awards. Congratulations.
Would the graduates please be seated? Would the graduates also receiving New England Award, the New England Award, please stand? Acting Chancellor, the New England Award is granted to selected graduates who have demonstrated outstanding service to the university and wider community and commitment to others. It's a non-academic award given by the university in recognition of the skills, attributes, leadership and personal qualities that are developed through extracurricular activity, committee membership, voluntary work and good citizenship.
Through your actions to achieve the New England Award, you've shown yourself to be high-achieving, proactive and outward-looking member of the community. UNE is proud of the relationships we have developed with many organisations across Australia as a result of your efforts. On behalf of the Council and UNE community, I extend to you our thanks and congratulations.
Please be seated. Would the graduates who are also receiving a Vice-Chancellor's Scholar Award please stand? Acting Chancellor, the Vice-Chancellor's Scholar Award is granted to selected bachelor's or master's degree candidates who are graduating with a grade point average of 6.7 or higher. It's granted to recognise the achievements of our most academically high-achieving students.
By achieving the Vice-Chancellor's Scholars Award, you have shown yourself to be hard-working and disciplined member of the university community with a determination to succeed. On behalf of the Council and the UNE community, I extend our hearty congratulations.
Please be seated, if you haven't already. Acting Chancellor, I now have the honour to present to you all those graduates newly admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy who are able to be present at this ceremony. Okay, I'm going to read out what the topic of their thesis first and then the name, so just to emphasise the importance of what they've done, okay? So supervised by Professor Vicky Bilaka, reconceptualising autistic camouflaging distinctions between concealment and biobehavioural resilience and development and validation of autism concealment scales, Wayne Matthew Arnold. Supervised by Associate Professor Rebecca Deirdre Spence, entitled is Meeting Students on Their Turf, an exploration of attitudes towards using social media to activate student engagement and community while promoting accessibility and skills development. Julia Catherine Day. Supervised by Professor Janelle Wilkes, investigating mitigation strategies to reduce environmental ammonia for intensively housed sheep and cattle, and Eva Narifa Hanifi. Supervised by Professor Frances Cowley, understanding the impact and solutions of ineffective worm control in tropical small ruminant production systems, a Fiji case study, a Gurdeep Kaur. Supervised by Professor Julius Herman van der Werf, genetic diversity, inbreeding and breeding strategies for native goats in central Laos. Vang Sang Lee, also receiving the New England Award. Supervised by Professor Paul Vincent Martin, improving voluntary compliance among Great Barrier Reef Marine Park users, and Catherine Maria Molson, and also receiving the Bachelor of Psychological Science and the Vice-Chancellor's Scholar Award. Supervised by Associate Professor Nicholas Andronicus, Molecular Genetics and Development of Reagents for Ovine MX2, Nahida Moridi. Supervised by Professor Christopher Francis Sharpley, the physical and mental health effects of housing homeless people in regional New South Wales, Australia, a mixed method study, Hebat Onapa. Supervised by Professor Julius Herman van der Werf, breeding for ewe longevity in Australian sheep, MD Obayed Al-Rahman. Supervised by Associate Professor Nicholas Andronicus, towards the development of nematode-specific protein expression systems, Vanessa Jane Sewell. All right. These scholars stand at the peak of academic achievement. Through years of dedication, intellectual rigour and creativity, they have not only mastered their disciplines, but have also contributed new knowledge to the world. Their work embodies the spirit of discovery that defines this university. In honour of their accomplishments, I now invite all staff to please rise and join me in acclaim for our research graduates. Yep, that's you. Okay. Acting Chancellor, I now have the honour to invite the Dean of Faculty of Science, Agriculture, Business and Law, Professor Sujana Adapa, to present those graduates newly admitted to postgraduate awards who are able to be present at this ceremony.
Acting Chancellor, I now have the honour to present to you those graduates newly admitted to the degree of Master, Graduate Diploma and Graduate Certificate from the Faculty of Science, Agriculture, Business and Law. Master of Business Administration, Callum Stewart Irlam Bettington. Vidya Gunaratnasingam. Master of Business Administration International, Nerissa Galapia Montalvo. Adityan Sivagurunathan. Amit Kumar Thakur. Master of Data Science, Pradeep Baral. Joseph Alexander Stone, also receiving the Vice Chancellor's Scholar Award. Master of Economic and Regional Development, Madhumage Apsara Dilshani Abhayanayake. Master of Economics, Robert Brandon Buchanan. Master of Environmental Science and Management, Poonam Ale. Georgina Florence Doyle. Arina Rai. Ranjit Sapkota. Sushmita Subedi. Master of Information Technology, Gorakhnath Adhikari. Ashraf Saheb Aringel. Arati Bhattarai. Kumar Bohara. Priya Byanjanka. Sabin Dittal. Ugochukwu Joseph Eke. Jenica Quimpo Lamera. Prajwal Pokhrel. Anup Sahi. Master of Neuroscience, Joy Chin Zi Chan. Sarah Coleman, also receiving the Vice Chancellor's Scholar Award. Chelsea Marie David. Renee Grandi. Savresho Hermes. Master of Neuroscience and Business, Amber Dries. Master of Neuroscience and Education, Corinne Marie Chakato. Madison Louise Hostler, also receiving the Vice Chancellor's Scholar Award. Master of Professional Accounting, Ogogo Julianne Amuno. Alison Jane Duff, also receiving the Vice Chancellor's Scholar Award. Priyanka Gising. Master of Science in Agriculture, Zulfikar. Muhammad Abdullah. Rima Adhikari Nupen. Asta Bania. Shweta Dakhal. Mary Christine Lakar Ferrer. Georgina Murray Hamilton. Shobhan Marita Morgan. Oladapo Ayodeji Olarunfemi. Siksha Parajuli. Natalie Ann Poole. Muhammad Olakani Sani. Pratima Shrestha. Sneha Ramesh Valitayil. Master of Scientific Studies, William Lee. Graduate Diploma in Neuroscience, Katie Ann Dowler. Graduate Certificate in Agribusiness, Jack William Johnston. Graduate Certificate in Environmental Science, Maria Suzanne Byrne. Graduate Certificate in Neuroscience, Josephine Victoria Carboni. Acting Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of postgraduate awards to those graduates who are able to be present at this ceremony.
Thank you, Susanna. I now call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Chris Moran, to introduce today's occasional address speaker.
Thank you, Chancellor. Years ago, you guys all made a decision to change your life, to take a journey, to work, to toil, to play, and it arrives today, the beginning, when you start on the journey that this particular stage, decision you made, will take you on. Our university is on a journey. Part of our journey is to revisit why we're here, why we were formed, why the people of this community and the broader area decided that this was a place for a university. What not a lot of people realise is at the time this community decided to form a university that you could graduate from in 2025, the only university experiences available in this country were elite institutions in the middle of capital cities. The University of New England wasn't formed for the people of Armidale. It was formed for every other person in the country of Australia to access education in a university. And it has been doing that ever since 1938, where this community essentially tricked the Parliament and the University of Sydney into letting this happen. And here we are. The next stage of our journey is to consider the vision those people had and ask the question, what does that mean in 2025, 6, into the 2030s? How does a modern university, a university that has evolved to teach people wherever they are, anywhere in the world, what they need for their future journey, and to maintain the connection with community in doing that? And the answer is to stop thinking of a university as a place that awards degrees, and start thinking of a university as a fundamental part of the infrastructure and the future of the regions that it serves. That means becoming far more embedded into the lives of people. It becomes far more embedded into the economy and far more embedded into the future. As a mark of that in our local economy, sharing the stage with us today is Mayor Sam Coupland, the Mayor of Armidale. What was that? Heard some support for the Mayor of Armidale, that's great. It's a non-trivial thing. The Mayor has 1 million spinning plates, so many places to be today, and chooses to come and participate in your graduation as a mark of the significance of the connection between the university and this very local community. We're connecting near and far. Many of the regional issues and rural issues for communities here are represented globally. The issues we face, the issues that you will tackle, are global. They're not necessarily global in the sense of the global atmosphere, but they're global in the sense of things like access to healthcare, access to daycare, access to aged care, high quality sporting facilities, high technology capability in the businesses of regions. Regions of this country and others shouldn't have to wait for gifts from metropolitan areas to show what the future can look like. The institution that has longevity via you, its graduates, is a university. All other institutions come and go. All other institutions have missions that differ from the great public progress that can occur in our regions. So I implore you to think about that. Of course, you have your individual aspirations. Of course, you have your reasons why you're here. And your families have their reasons why you're here. We ask you after you graduate, sure, have that celebration. And sure, it's your life, it's not somebody else's. But when you're making your decisions, when you're choosing the impact that you will have, where does your community fit into that? And how does your community fit into that? And how do these two things come together so that you mark the future as an individual and we as an institution can start to reach towards that vision that the outcomes and successes of our communities are part of our intent. They don't just come as a result, incidentally, of what you choose to do as an individual. Since UNE's first Vice-Chancellor, Sir Robert Madgwy, gave an occasional address at UNE's 1959 graduation, this podium has been followed by hundreds of fascinating speakers, both UNE alumni and others, who take the opportunity to impart their wisdom and experience on you, the graduating cohort, and indeed anyone else who chooses to take the wisdom. Earlier in this ceremony, we heard of Ben Thompson's remarkable journey from UNE graduate to international tech entrepreneur, a story that exemplifies innovation, courage, and the transformative power of education, the same education that you've had access to. As founder and CEO of Employment Hero, and through his suite of pioneering companies, Ben Thompson has reimagined how businesses support and empower their people. His vision continues to shape workplaces across the globe and inspire future leaders. Members of the Council, staff, graduates, guests, I am honoured to introduce Mr Ben Thompson as your occasional address speaker this morning. Please give him a warm welcome.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor. Thank you, everybody. It's incredibly humbling to be here today, not as the student that UNE forgot, but as a esteemed alumni. 29 years ago, I sat here on the lawn like you. We were facing this way, and as they called the names for the graduates, they called the person before me, and then they called the person after me, and then they called everybody. And my parents were sitting just there and they were staring at me, and they knew that in my final year at UNE I'd moved back to Sydney and was doing all of my lectures online and not attending shoots, and they were convinced that I had dropped out of university. They were here for a graduation, but they were incredibly sceptical. And when everybody else's name got called and I was left standing alone, my mother was mouthing words I won't say, but she was very surprised that eventually they figured out the mistake and they called my name, and I was very happy and warmly welcomed to the stage with a mother who was applauding more loudly than anybody else in the crowd as I proved that I actually had finished my degree. It took a little longer than you might have thought, but I was very happy to get there. I didn't finish at UNE with the best marks. I wasn't the greatest student. That's what they don't tell you at graduation, that you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. What I left here with was enough knowledge of law and economics, but more than anything, a curiosity about how the world works and a belief that just about everything on earth can be done better. And that I wanted to be involved in that, and I wanted to make things better for other people. And I didn't know how I would do it, but I had a great education now, and I was off into the world to explore what I could do. I took the natural path, the path that most people would have recommended. I became admitted as a solicitor. I went into banking and finance. I wore, as you probably should have, I wore a tie and a suit almost every day for years, and attended meetings and spent most of my time questioning, is this why I studied? Is this really what I wanted to do? Do I want to be a solicitor in banking and finance? And I wasn't happy. It wasn't my desire. It wasn't where I saw myself living. So in 1999, we headed over to the UK, and I was very lucky to find my intersection of meaning. I was more than a lawyer and an economist. I was a geek. I loved technology. I loved computers and anything I could get my hands on. And eventually, any computer that I could get my hands on. And eventually, when I landed in London, I was lucky enough to drop into the middle of the dot-com boom. And I got to work with people who were building companies, that were changing things, that were listing on the stock exchange, and we were doing amazing things, and there was this energy and sparks of lightning in the meetings, not boredom. And it was such a privilege to find this intersection where business and technology could intersect and achieve really great change in the world. I had that intersection, but I didn't have my why. In 2002, I moved back to Australia, back to Sydney, and I discovered my why. I set up a law firm as an employment lawyer beside my father's HR consultancy, and I started talking to business owners about their problems and what was keeping them awake at night. And then I had an epiphany, because everybody I spoke to told me the same thing, that being in business was great. They went into business because they wanted to run a company, but nobody started a business to be an employer. And the thing about being in business that is toughest is actually being an employer. In this country in particular, the system is incredibly difficult, and people get in trouble as employers, and they end up in a state of anxiety where they don't want to grow their business because they're afraid that every new employee they put on could be a liability, an unfair dismissal claim, or something that could really come back and bite them. And that is crazy, because these people, the people I was talking to, the mums and dads, the small business owners, they are incredibly important. 99% of businesses on planet Earth are small and medium-sized businesses. 70% of all jobs on this planet are provided by those people. And 50% of all the money in our global economy are the wages that small and medium-sized businesses pay to their employees. If those people and those business owners don't feel proud about employing people, enthusiastic about employing more people, then the entire global economy is hamstrung and people end up unemployed. And that is a problem that we do not want, because the opposite of employment is unemployment, and the consequences of long-term unemployment are diabolical. That is my why. I realised that there was a huge opportunity. There was an opportunity to make those people feel proud and confident, and to make employment easier and more valuable for everybody on earth. That's what I dedicated myself to for decades. That's what we've been doing at Employment Hero for a very long time. But before Employment Hero, there was a lot. No overnight success happens overnight. It takes at least a decade. In my case, 2 decades. 2 decades of working on one problem every single day without fail. Consistency is really important when you're trying to solve a big problem. The way we got here was by trying many different things. As you heard earlier from the Vice-Chancellor, I was running law cases, I was still practicing as a solicitor, I was in court representing businesses and employees. I was starting a company that ran rewards programs all over the world for businesses like Ford and Cisco. I was building technology, coding, designing products. I was working around the clock, and it was not healthy, and it was not something I would recommend to anybody. Being the CEO of 3 companies simultaneously that were all startups and all losing money, it was incredibly difficult. It led to a point where eventually I needed to go all in on one thing. So I appointed CEOs to my other companies, people I trusted, people I could support and mentor, and I went all in on Employment Hero and we raised capital, and then things started to really accelerate and grow. Oh, there you go. At that point, we managed to get the company to a scale where we could achieve more things and actually get to a point of profitability. But to get there didn't just require one person, it required many people. Sorry, I've just lost my notes. So, 29 years later, after coming back here and reflecting on what got us here and what I've learnt over that period of time, there are five things I want to mention. The first is that your grades don't predict your impact on the world. Your persistence does. Sticking to one problem, not giving up when others walk away, that is what really is about, that creates impact. The second is that magic lives in the overlooked intersections. The intersections where others would never go down those paths, where you find something that you love, like for me, like technology, and combine it with something that can achieve real change. The third is that solving the ugly problems, the unglamorous problems, are the biggest opportunities. No one wants to do payroll. That's what we do for so many people. 2.5 million people a month get paid by us. It's not glamorous. But that's where the big problems lie, and that's where the opportunities really exist. So boring and bigger is the biggest opportunity. The fourth thing is that time compounds. I started my first company in 2002. We raised capital for Employment Hero in 2014. And it wasn't until 2005 that we were seen as a unicorn multi-billion-dollar business supporting over 350,000 businesses in Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Malaysia, the UK and Canada. Most people quit after just a couple of years. It took 23 years to build this business without ever giving up or even considering it. The last thing that is incredibly important is that nobody does this alone. At every stage of growing a business, you need people who champion you and believe in your mission and believe in what you're building from day one. That's typically friends and, most importantly, family. In particular, my wife, Carolyn Chappell, now Thompson, from Armidale, who I met here while at uni. She has been with me every step of the way. The number of times that I had to say to her, babe, just trust me, this will work out. And she did. She always stood and always supported me in business, but more importantly, she supported our family. She was the strength so that I knew that I could go off and do these crazy things in business, and pushed the boundaries, but I had the confidence that our home, our kids were all looked after and that things would be okay, provided that the family was all right. And she has done the best job of that side of our growth, a better job on that than I have done in business. In particular, that became difficult because our youngest child suffers from an ultra-rare disease that requires 24-hour intensive care, and he has had that need for about the last 5 years. So not only have I been doing crazy things and growing a business, but I've had to make choices that she couldn't make. I've made choices to attend board meetings rather than hospital visits, to attend product launches instead of blood transfusions. Every step of the way, she has carried that burden so that I could do what I've done, and she has carried far more than her fair share of the load on the home front. But, thank you. But the ironic thing about that situation is that in order for us to build our family and our business together, we've built something exceptional. We've built a business that now employs 1,700 people in over 20 countries around the world, and everybody can work from home, and everybody has the freedom to care for their family. It's one of the most important values in our business is to build a way of working that allows you to live your best life, not to live your best career on paper. Because what really matters is who you can care for and that you can be the best person to the people that you need to be. And going to the office every day is not necessarily the best way for that to be achieved. Coming back to Armidale is a great reminder of that regional centres should not exclude people from incredible employment and business opportunities. COVID taught us that we can work remotely and that whether you're living in Armidale or anywhere else on the planet, you have as much right to the greatest work and opportunities in the world as any other person. And that we are making possible through our platform and through our business. So, graduates, with this certificate in your hand and your degrees behind you, I'd like to issue you a challenge. I would ask that you all go forth and look for that intersection. Find something you love. Find something you care about that gives you energy, that makes you want to get up in the morning and do it. Find where it intersects with a problem that is huge, that you can actually solve. And then commit to solving that problem, not for a day, not for a week or a month or a year, for a decade. Because no problems get solved quickly and no huge successes happen overnight. I would ask you to find that intersection, to commit to it, and to stick to it for at least a decade so that you can have true impact. The world has plenty of people who can speak. The world has plenty of people who are generalists, who know a lot of little things about a lot of things. But there's very few people who can stick to something for decades to achieve true, meaningful change. That's what I encourage you to go forth and do. We need you to be stubborn. We need you to compound your efforts over decades. We need you to build when others only talk. We need you to solve problems that we don't even know exist yet. You've got more tools than we ever did with the benefit of artificial intelligence. You've got more opportunity than any of us in previous graduates. And in 29 years' time, I hope that some of you come back and tell your stories, and that they're messier, more crazy, and achieve far more than I ever have, and that now that your names have been called, you know that UNE has given you that advantage and you use it in every possible way you can. So congratulations, well done, thank you very much.
Wow, thank you, Ben, for a most interesting and inspiring address. The bits that stuck out to me: be curious, be consistent, a belief in better, in solving ugly problems, discovering your why and sticking with it. So congratulations to you and your wife on an overnight success, 29 years in the making. Before we continue with our ceremony, we have this special musical interlude to celebrate this momentous occasion. The music for today's ceremony is proudly provided by the New England Conservatorium of Music. We're privileged to be joined by three outstanding musicians: Deirdre Rickards OAM, Sarah Sandgrove and Malcolm Liddell. Please join me in welcoming them and enjoy the performance.
Let the
Isn't the New England blessed to have such wonderful musicians? Thank you very much for such a beautiful performance. I now invite the Head of School of Science and Technology, Professor Philip Forey, to commence presenting undergraduate awards.
Acting Chancellor, I have the honour to present to you those graduates newly admitted to the degree of Bachelor with Honours, Bachelor, and those graduates awarded the Advanced Diploma from the School of Science and Technology. Bachelor of Science with Honours, Jason James Elford, First Class, also receiving the University Medal. James Edward George Phelps, First Class. Bachelor of Computer Science, Mark Nemo Batbeder Matibe. Matthew Philip Ellis. Benjamin Michael Nolan. Liam Ty Bricknell Talbot, also receiving the Vice-Chancellor's Scholar Award. Bachelor of Exercise and Sports Science, Kathleen Grace Eldering, also receiving the New England Award. Bachelor of Science, Kane Jet Abrams. Brianna Allison Charles. Isabel Dyer. Carl Kress. Kim Roberts. For the Advanced Diploma in Science, Bailey Jacob Lawler. Jamala Nello Gordon. Acting Chancellor, I now have the honour to invite the Head of School of Environmental and Rural Science, Professor Carl Van Est, to present those graduates newly admitted to the Undergraduate Award who are able to be present at this ceremony.
Acting Chancellor. I now have the honour to present to you those graduates newly admitted to the degree of Bachelor with Honours, Bachelor, and those graduates awarded the Diploma and Undergraduate Certificate from the School of Environmental and Rural Science. Bachelor of Rural Science with Honours, Matthew Jeremy Tomlinson, Second Class, Division 2. Bachelor of Agriculture, Bachelor of Business, Ellie Rose Birial. Henry John Lavender. Harry Peter Maunder. Oliver Murphy. Maggie Elizabeth Reid. Bachelor of Agriculture, Prahasma Baral. Lachlan James Bible. Emma Blanche Lebrow. Lewis Martin. Harry Dean Morris. Michaela Rowe. Bachelor of Animal Science, Sarah Ann Jackson. Tani Wiedemann. Bachelor of Environmental Science, Ian Graham Brockwell. Tanisha Bal Kua Gill Andrews. Dale Ian Jenkins. Michelle Thompson. Bachelor of Geoscience, Jagan Cannon. Hugh William Sharp. Ashley Edward Slaverio. Bachelor of Plant Science, Sherry Ann Jurek. Bachelor of Rural Science, Alice Christina Maney. Bachelor of Zoology, Kirsty Ellen Bain. Cody Gould. Owen Jeffrey Halpin. Jack Edward Morgan. Shelley Christine Smith. Chloe Marie Thomas. Rosie Bell Thompson. Ellie Laurel Young. Diploma in Agricultural Studies, Taylor Douglas Nix. Diploma in Zoological Studies, Emily Rose Barclay. Undergraduate Certificate in Paleontology, Claire Renee Alara. Acting Chancellor. I now have the honour to invite the Interim Head of the UNE Business School, Professor Renee Villano, to present those graduates newly admitted to the undergraduate awards who are able to be present at this ceremony.
Acting Chancellor, I have now the honor to present to you those graduates newly admitted to the degree of Bachelor and those graduates awarded an advanced diploma from the UNE Business School. Bachelor of Business, Bachelor of Economics, George Anthony Burns. Bachelor of Accounting, Yanela Emily Rose Hall, also receiving the New England Award. Sophia Rose Johnson. Stephanie Monique Shaw. Joshua Peter Swarovski. Carrie Wiley. Anthony Wild. Bachelor of Agribusiness, Hamish Robert Edward Green. Megan Gronwald. Henry Harris. Taylor Lawrence. Nicole Marie Searles. James Andrew Slacksmith. Bachelor of Business, Matthew John Scott Allison. Matthew James Anderson. James Bloomer. Jodine Elizabeth Campbell. Talia May Elam. Jack Michael Johnson. Dimitri Andrew Kostopoulos. Michelle William Langford. Gian Mahoney. Imogen McCarthy. Joseph Seymour. Andrew James Simon. Gregory George Telfa. Bachelor of Organizational Leadership, Lyndon James Blay. Roger Mark Dukes. Matthew Haig Jackson. Daniel Kempster. Sophie Claire Keegan. Julian Lomas. Joshua McGregor Mason. Elizabeth Rose McSurley. Chloe Marie Peterson. David Schilling. Advanced Diploma in Business, Diana Shi Xuan Lin. Acting Chancellor, I have now the honor to invite the Head of School of Law, Professor Alpana Roy, to present those graduates newly admitted to the undergraduate awards who are able to be present at this ceremony.
Acting Chancellor, and I have the honour to present to you those graduates newly admitted to the degree of Bachelor with Honours and Bachelor, and those graduates awarded the undergraduate certificate from the School of Law. Bachelor of Law with Honours, Emily Nelson, Second Class, Division 1. Bachelor of Business, Bachelor of Laws, Katie Crichton. Marnie Kennedy. Bachelor of Laws, Kumavaru Arunaharan. Gurdan Singh Para. Brooke Catherine Campbell. Jewel Laveshri Coleman. Joanne Eastman. Helen Fontaine. Jean-Louis Fourie. Eleanor Kate Henderson. Bronte Anna Faye Kahura. Louise Ann Laverne. Sarah Jean Lavis. Sarah Marie Lowry. Talsoga McMahon. Alexandra Cartier Moretti. Amy Brooke Newland. Edward Melville Roden Pearson. Catherine Marna Reynolds. Sali Romy. Tina Lana Tran. Felicity Jane McLaughlin Williams. Corey William Bolvin. Bachelor of Legal Studies, Monique Chauvier. Undergraduate Certificate in Paralegal Studies, Connie Liza Swire. Acting Chancellor, that concludes the awards from the Faculty of Science, Agriculture, Business and Law to graduates who are able to present at this ceremony.
Thank you, Professor Roy. and congratulations. I now invite Callum Bennington, Master of Business Administration, to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the graduates.
Good afternoon. The Chancellor, when I came up to get my degree, cautioned me that if I keep going the way I will, I'll end up back on this stage. So I think he was right. But yeah, my name's Callum. I have the privilege of speaking in front of you today. I'll start by acknowledging our esteemed guests, the Chancellor, the Vice-Chancellor and local members, as well as Elder Colin Ahoy, who warmly welcomed us on behalf of the Narwan people today. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to all members of faculty and other academic staff. And finally, I wish a very warm welcome to my fellow graduates, to which this is a special day for us all. My own journey with UNE started back in 2021 after feeling unhappy with where I was. I wanted change. As a vet, a large part of my job is to help animals, but I chose to study the MBA because I wanted to help people in my industry that I work with every day. As Ben put it, my intersect. I realised that I didn't have the tools or the knowledge to do this, which landed me studying completely externally with UNE. My experience this time around was very different to my bachelor's degree, where I studied full-time on campus. The first thing was my attitude coming into this course was completely different. The journey this time seemed much more important to me than the destination. I wanted to try and get as much out of this study as I could. As helpful as great textbooks and insightful articles can be, I found myself utilising previously untapped potential of the lecturers and other academics. Much more. The approachability and the way they were able to simplify the concepts and ideas helped drive that curiosity that we all possess. There's an old Chinese proverb saying, "Teachers open the door, but you must enter yourself." Every member of UNE that I met over my 4 years went above and beyond to help push these doors open, but now it's up to me to walk through. It was my responsibility to attend lectures, albeit online, reply to forums on MyLearn, complete my assignments and pass exams. This time around for me, I had to make the study fit around my life and not the other way around. There were many cold, dark mornings spent reading journal articles and quiet weekends writing assignments, while friends and family were out partying or sleeping in. As life does, these challenges seem to change, and it was up to us to adapt, to find new solutions to these novel problems. This became very apparent when I moved to the other side of the world to live and work in Ireland. I needed to adapt to continue my studies abroad, and UNE allowed me to do that. Part of what makes these achievements so special is the hard work that's required and the sacrifices. Captain Matthew Webb once said, "Nothing great is ever easy." And I feel the unique challenges that we all face to be here today are examples of hard work and the greatness that hard work produces. My time at UNE has changed the way I see the world and approach problems. The challenge for myself and all of you here today is with one final quote from American author William Arthur Ward. "The adventure of life is to learn. The purpose of life is to grow. The nature of life is to change. The challenge of life is to overcome. The essence of life is to care. The opportunity of life is to serve. The secret of life is to dare. The spice of life is to befriend. And the beauty of life is to give." Thank you.
Thank you, Callum, for your lovely and thoughtful speech. I'm glad you got so much out of your time here at UNE. Congratulations to you and all our graduates on your graduation today. You are now part of the UNE alumni family, and I encourage you to stay connected with us in the years ahead, whether undertaking further studies with us, like Callum, encouraging your friends and family to study with us, engaging with the UNE alumni through various events and activities, or keeping up with news about the impact of our staff are having on the world. If you have not already done so, I encourage you to visit the alumni tent and register your interest in receiving information about the progress and achievements here at UNE, as well as upcoming events and activities that you might like to attend. I wish you all the very best for your careers ahead, and I look forward to hearing from you about the differences UNE has made to your world and the difference you make, be that to yourself, your family, your community, or even broader than that. As new opportunities unfold before you, we take great pride in having accompanied you on your chapter this far. Please take a time to reflect today that if you have challenges going forward, you certainly are capable of achieving things, and today is recognition of that. I would now like the graduates to acknowledge the great contributions made by their families to your awards. So if you could be upstanding and turn around and maybe be a bit louder than they were for you. Thank you. If you could resume your seats. We're almost there. Thank you all for attending today's ceremony, and a special thanks to the UNE staff who have worked tirelessly to make today's ceremony run so smoothly and be so memorable. Before we bring today's ceremony to close, we have one final moment to share with our new graduates. In a moment, I'll invite you to launch your trenches in celebration, a gesture that marks not only the completion of your studies, but the beginning of all that lies ahead. Please do take care. After all, you will have to pick them up afterwards. So, please be upstanding. Today, as you lift your trenches, is not only a celebration of your own achievements, but a reflection of the university sending you forth into your profession, your communities, and the wider world to contribute with knowledge, creativity, and purpose. Now on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. With the Brisbane Olympics coming up, we've certainly got some athletes with some strong arms, so there you go. Once you've got your trenches back, please be seated. I hope you all continue to enjoy the wonderful atmosphere which graduation creates, and that you will take advantage of the various hospitality and entertainment options available today. Thank you for joining us here to celebrate. I declare the ceremony closed and ask the congregation to please stand for the academic anthem, Graduamus Incitor, and after the anthem, the newly admitted graduates are invited to follow the procession out. Have a lovely afternoon, enjoy the celebrations, and travel safely. Thank you. Spider.